Hello, welcome back to my channel Botany with San. Now we are going to see about a short note of female gametophyte of a flower in a chapter of sexual reproduction of a flowering plants. Okay, let's see. When we discuss about a flower has four main parts, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So these four parts are organizing a flower. Okay, these four parts may be categorized by two, that is essential and non-essential. What is essential and what is non-essential? Non-essential means the parts which does not involve in the reproduction, and essential means the parts which involve in the reproduction. So calyx and corolla is the non-essential part and androecium and gynoecium is the essential part. Okay, now we are going to discuss about a gynoecium producing one type of female part, that is called female gametophyte. Okay, clear? So here in gynoecium it is a female reproductive part and the androecium it is a male reproductive part. Okay, so androecium individual unit is stamens and gynoecium individual unit is, that is carpel or pistil. So the gynoecium has three parts. Okay, so the pollen grains landing platform, that is called stigma. Okay, and the elongated slender portion, that is called style, and the basal swollen portion, that is called ovary. Okay, so inside the ovary there is a small sac-like structure, minute structure, ovule is present. The other name of ovule is called megasporangium. Okay, megasporangium. Okay, so the sporangium, that is the spores containing, the spores means ovules which is present like a sac-like structure, that is called megasporangium or ovule inside the ovary, basal swollen portion of the gynoecium. Okay, so here the structure of the ovule is otherwise called as megasporangium. So in the structure of a ovule, a structure of the megasporangium, the ovule have two main parts, that is a stalk of the ovule and the body of the ovule. Stalk of the ovule and body of the ovule. The ovule arises from the placenta of the ovary of gynoecium. Okay, so the stalk of the ovule is called funicle or funiculus. The stalk of the ovule is called funicle or funiculus, and the stalk of the ovule, which means funicle, which attached to the body of the ovule at one point. That point is called hilum. The stalk of the ovule attached to the body of the ovule, that point is called hilum. Okay, ovules are different type. Okay, here it is an inverted type of ovule. So this inverted type of ovule, the funicle, that is the stalk of the ovule, which adnate to the whole body of the ovule. So it form a ridge-like structure. That ridge-like structure is called raphe. Okay, so the stalk of the ovule in inverted type of ovule, the stalk of the ovule is adnate to the whole body structure to form a ridge. That portion is called raphe. In the body of the ovule, the center of the ovule is called nucellus. Here the mass of parenchymatous cells are present. The nucellus, which is covered or protected by layers. That layer may be one or two. If the layer is one, that is called unitegmic. If the layer is two, that is called bitegmic. Collectively, these layers are called integuments. So the central mass of ovule is called nucellus. That nucellus is covered by a protective layer, that is called integuments. That may be unitegmic or bitegmic. Clear? Then the integuments covered the nucellus except one region. That region is called opening of the ovule or micropyle. Opening of the ovule or micropyle. And the funicle meeting portion, integument meeting portion opposite to the micropyle, that portion is called chalasa. Opposite to the micropyle, that portion is called chalasa. And the nucellus have one small sac-like structure. So inside the nucellus, small sac-like structure, embryo sac or female gametophyte is present. Embryo sac or female gametophyte is present inside the nucellus. See how this embryo sac is formed inside the nucellus. Let's see. See, it is the development of female gametophyte or embryo sac. Okay, remember inside the ovule only the nucellus, which is made up of mass of parenchymatous cell, is present. Okay, clear? So remember the ovule which have opening, that portion is called micropyle. That micropylar region is called apex, opening apex. Okay, and the opposite to the micropyle, that is called chalasa. So chalasal region is basal region, micropylar region is apex region. Okay, in the ovule. Inside the ovule only the nucellus is present. Other name of ovule is called megasporangium. Okay, so in the nucellus there is a special cell called subhypodermal. Sub means secondary, hypo means below, derma means derma, layer, outer layer. So sub means secondary, outer layer ku keela irukக்கூடியது. So below the outer layer, subhypodermal cell which enlarges and act as a archisporial cell. Okay, the inside the nucellus towards the micropylar region there is one cell called subhypodermal which enlarges and acts as archisporial cell. That archisporial cell divided by transverse division, transverse, horizontally. So the archisporial cell which divide transverse and form the two cell, that is upper primary parietal cell, lower primary sporogenous cell. Upper primary parietal cell, primary sporogenous cell, lower. Okay, here the upper primary parietal cell which undergoes several anticlinal, periclinal divisions. So more number of upper parietal cell was formed. These more number of primary upper parietal cells which push the primary single sporogenous cell towards chalasal region, that is deep end of the nucellus. Okay, here the more number of primary parietal cell and single, that is primary sporogenous cell. Clear? Here this primary sporogenous cell which only act as megaspore mother cell. Okay, the primary sporogenous cell act as megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell which undergoes meiosis division. Remember, cell division is three types, that is amitosis, mitosis and meiosis. Okay, so mitosis means one cell divided into two cell, 2 into 4. Okay, like that. So there the 2n condition remain 2n condition after division, but in meiosis the 2n condition after meiosis, that is after division, which changed into n condition, that is haploid condition. Okay, so in the meiosis, that is mitosis means 2n divide and form the 2n cell, but the meiosis the 2n which changed divide and form the haploid number of cells. Okay, one cell divided into 4 cells, that is called meiosis. So in the megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis division. Through this meiosis division, one megaspore mother cell form 4 megaspores, that is haploid in condition. Clear? So nucellus producing megaspore, this process is called megasporogenesis. Genesis means production. See, these megaspores only develop the female gametophyte or embryo sac. Okay, so depend upon the plant or depend upon the plant species, the development of female gametophyte or embryo sac is different. Clear? So here the development of female gametophyte is different type according to the functional megaspore. In some cases, one megaspore only develop the entire embryo sac. So that is called monosporic, single megaspore development. In some plants, the 2 megaspores produce the embryo sac, that is called bisporic. In some plant species, the 4 megaspores form the entire embryo sac. So that is called tetrasporic. But 80% of the flowering plants, the monosporic development, which means single megaspore develop the entire embryo sac. That type is present. Main example, polygonum. Okay, so the monosporic development is otherwise called as polygonum type of development or polygonum type of embryo sac. Okay, here let's see the monosporic or polygonum type of embryo sac. Okay, so 4 megaspores, here it is the micropyle region, it is the chalazel region. Of these 4 megaspores, towards the micropylar region, the 3 megaspores are degenerated. 4 megaspores, the chalazel one is mostly functional. Other 3 megaspores towards the micropylar region which are degenerated. So here the chalazel megaspore is functional. Chalazel one is functional, others are degenerate. So this chalazel one megaspore is the first cell of the female gametophyte. So which is the first cell of the female gametophyte? The chalazel one is functional. That functional chalazel one megaspore is the first cell of the female gametophyte or embryo sac. Then this chalazel one functional megaspore which elongates, okay, which elongates, and inside the nucleus is present, right? That nucleus undergoes mitosis division. Remember, mitosis means one cell divided into two cell divided into 4 cell, so on. Okay, so here the functional megaspore which elongates, and inside that there is a nucleus is present. That nucleus undergoes mitosis division. Through this mitotic division, that functional megaspore single nucleus divided into 2 nucleus, but without cell wall formation. Normally the cell divided into 2 cell. First the nucleus is divided, later the cell wall formed and it will separate the 2 cells. Okay, but here the nucleus is divided into 2 but without cell wall. So here the common cytoplasm which bears the 2 nucleus. Okay, after that the 2 nucleus undergoes another mitosis, second mitosis, which form the 4 nucleus in the common cytoplasm. Okay, in first the 1 nucleus divided into 2 nucleus, right? In between the 2 nucleus there is a large vacuole is produced. That central large vacuole push the 2 nucleus towards opposite poles, opposite pole to each other. Later only the second mitosis occur, the 2 divided into 4 nucleus. So here 4, the 2 upper, 2 lower. In center there is a large central vacuole. Clear? And again this 4 nucleus undergoes another mitosis division. So here it will produce the 8 nucleus inside the common cytoplasm. At the time of 8 nucleus, this functional megaspore which elongated, at maturing it elongated. Okay, that elongated functional megaspore only called as female gametophyte or embryo sac. It is the structure of embryo sac. So the structure of embryo sac or structure of female gametophyte, in the common cytoplasm there is 8 nucleus is present, upper 4 nucleus, below 4 nucleus. Okay, so in the upper 4 nucleus, the 3 is act as the egg apparatus. Okay, the 3 act as egg apparatus, and the remaining upper 1 nucleus which is free in the center of the embryo sac, and the lower 4 nucleus, the 3 act as a antipodal cell, and the remaining 1 is free in the center of the embryo sac. Okay, that free nucleus is called upper polar nuclei and lower polar nuclei. These 2 polar nucleuses may be fused or free, depend upon the plant species. Okay, mostly it is fused. So these 2 polar nucleus, that is upper polar nucleus, lower polar nucleus, these 2 nucleus act as one cell, that is called central cell or secondary nucleus. Above that there is 3 cell, that is act as egg apparatus. Below that there is 3 cell act as antipodal cell, and the 2 nucleus centrally act as central cell or secondary nucleus. So above the secondary nucleus, that is through the micropylar region, inside the micropylar region their egg apparatus is present. That egg apparatus consisting of 3 cells, that is 3 nucleus. In the 3 nucleus, the two synergids and centrally one egg cell is present. Centrally one egg cell and two synergids are present. Okay, that whole is called egg apparatus. At the fertilization time, the synergids act the important role. Okay, here the synergid normally at the fertilization time, the male reproductive part, that is pollen grain, which produce the pollen tube, okay, which only comes towards the micropylar region of the egg cell for the fertilization. At that time, the synergids which producing the chemotropic substances, that is some chemical substances, that substances which attract that pollen tube, and also it direct the pollen tube towards the egg cell. So remember, any structure which guide the pollen tube into the embryo sac, that is egg cell, that is called obturator. Okay, obturator. Also, the synergids act as the obturator, which means it producing chemotropic substances which attract the pollen tube into the egg cell. And also, the synergids having finger-like projections of cellular thickenings, that is called filiform apparatus, which absorb the nutrients from the nucellus and conduct it to the embryo sac for the development. Okay, clear? So synergids have two functions. One is attract the pollen tube to the egg cell, and second is it have filiform apparatus which absorb and conduct the nutrients from the nucellus to the embryo sac for development. And below that there is a 3 antipodal cells are present. The functions are not known. And centrally the polar nucleus, that is one cell, two nucleus. That polar nucleus, secondary nucleus or central cell, which only after fertilization changed into endosperm, the nourishment tissue. Okay, and here two synergids and one egg cell. At the time of fertilization, the synergids will degenerated. The egg cell which is combined to the male gamete and produce the zygote. Clear? So here the structure of embryo sac or structure of female gametophyte. So at the mature embryo sac, which have how many cells? Let's count. 2 synergids plus 1 egg cell, that is 3 cell. 3 antipodal cell, that is 3 plus 3, 6 cell. And centrally 2 nucleus, 1 cell. So 6 plus 1 cell, that is 7 cell. Structure of embryo sac, that is mature embryo sac, has 7 cell. And how many nucleus is present? Let's count. 2 synergids have 2 nucleus and 1 egg cell have 1 nucleus, that is 3 nucleus. 3 antipodals each have 3 nucleus, single nucleus. So at the matured embryo sac, there how many nucleus and how many cells are present? Egg apparatus consisting 3 cells, antipodal cells consisting 3 cells, central cell consisting 1 cell. 3 plus 1, that is 7 cell. Okay, so here in the mature embryo sac, the 7 cell is present. Okay, and the nucleus is 2 synergids have 1 plus 1 nucleus. Egg cell have 1 nucleus, so 3 nucleus. Antipodal cells 3 nucleus, so 3 plus 3, 6 nucleus. In the central cell, 2 nucleus inside the 1 cell, so 2 nucleus. That is 6 plus 2, that is 8. So how many nucleus is present in the mature embryo sac? 8 nucleus is present. Okay, so in the mature embryo sac, 7 celled 8 nucleus is present. It's all about the female gametophyte or embryo sac. Okay. Thank you.